Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm here with another layout using one of the page kits that I brought to the crop. This page was actually done at the crop, so that's why for the different view there. The lighting wasn't too bad. I ended up going to Costco the day that we got there, and they had OT lights for a really good price, which I had one that I was going to bring to crops all the time anyway, so I just keep it in the box and I bring it to crops. And I needed one that was better suited for my bedroom, because I like to read sometimes at night and I don't like to have sort of the overhead light on. So this one here, the new one that they had at Costco, was perfect for that. So, and plus it was on sale. It was like almost $10 off, so I ended up getting that OT light, and then I had plenty of light for filming at the crop. So now I'll have those two lights, and when I go to crops I can just bring that with me, and then I can film some pages while I'm there. I had these two photos that I wanted to use for this layout, and they were 4x4. So I decided to cut my pattern paper 5x12 so that the photos would fit on it perfectly, and then I was able to do a horizontal design with my page. That is definitely one of my go-to designs, and it always looks different. For this one, I took, like I said, the pattern paper, I made it 5x12, and then I had a strip of pattern paper with the chevron. That was a scrap. So I kept it in the size that it was in. It was about 2 inches by 12. I put it underneath it, and then I just, instead of using pattern paper or cardstock to make a to define where my pattern papers end, I decided to use a whole bunch of washi tape. I had some light teal or aqua striped washi, I had film strips, and then I had also a navy washi tape, which was a little wider. It was about 1/2 inch, and I just put those washi tape where the pattern papers meet or ended, and it really added something different to this layout. And then I went into, the first thing I do when I start with a page kit that I put together like that is I separate everything. I put the pattern papers in one pile, I put the embellishments in one pile, and as I'm doing that, I'm kind of seeing everything that I grabbed for this page kit. Then, once I cut apart the pattern papers, then I look at it and say, okay, what can I use for my embellishment starter? In this case, I had these cloud transparencies, so I use those as my embellishment starters. So I decide on 3 spots for embellishment cluster. One of them I put right beside the photo, and it's going to say I'm going to use an embellishment that is round, and it says best ever. So I'm going to layer that over top of that, and then if I look at that cluster and say, okay, where else can I put a cluster? I'm going to go right where the washi tape is, and I'm going to go to the top left of the photo. But I don't want to put it close to the photo. I wanted to put it a little bit further away from the photo. So the washi tape where it ends, that gives me a nice place to start an embellishment cluster. So I put my cloud there, and then I start putting the rest of the embellishments with that embellishment cluster, and then doing the visual triangle and making sure that your photo is in the center. I say, okay, where else can I put that third embellishment cluster? Bottom left. So I take another cloud, I put it at the bottom, and then I start building. So I had a little label. When I layer it, I made sure that it touches the cloud, and then layer it. And then when I put my third embellishment, which is a little tag that says, or a little label that says this way. When I put this way on top of the other, I make sure that it touches the first embellishment and then the second embellishment. Now to finish it all off, I take a flare and add it to that cluster, and again making sure that it's touching every piece that I've already put down. And by doing that, you're making it so that every piece in that embellishment cluster belongs together. Then when the base of my embellishment clusters are done, so all the biggest elements are down, then I look at stuff to finish them off. And usually I like to add a little word sticker, and then I finish it off by adding some enamel dots. Now we're on to the title, and the title is, I'm just going to say Fun View. And I'm going to take these thickers, they're navy thickers, and I'm going to put it on some wax paper. And I like putting it on the wax paper because then I can move it around and kind of figure out where I'm going to stick it on the layout. And again, I like using the washi tape, so it's a little shelf for either my embellishment clusters, for photos, or in this case, a nice little shelf to put my title. So I'm going to put it to the bottom right of the layout here. I'm going to put Fun View, and then right underneath that is where I'm going to do my journaling. Then I grabbed some Doodlebug teensy type stickers, and I wanted to put the year. So on that ticket was the perfect place for that. So I took some little square stickers and I put 2016, and you can tell there I'm just chatting up a storm. Obviously I talk with my hands. And another thing that I did a lot of, and I mentioned that in the last video, is I watched a ton of This Is Us. It's probably, I'm now caught up. I've watched the entire first season, and my husband and I, and my husband was watching the first season also. I would text him once in a while and say, okay, I'm on episode 8. Okay, I'm on episode 10. So he was keeping up with me here. And then when I came back, then we are now watching season 2. Now, one thing that I did was, before I went to the crop, man, it looks like I'm directing a plane there. Before I went to the crop, is I did my journaling on some recipe cards. And now, you know, while I'm chatting, well, maybe at one point, I'll start doing my journaling, and I don't have to think about it. I just copy exactly what I put on my journaling card. I put it on my page. And it just made my life so much easier while I was at the crop. Now I have to say, you saw the last 2 layouts. I was really giving her. You know, I was trying to get as many layouts done before the end of the crop. So even at that, even though I had the journaling done, I didn't transfer it to my page. But I'm not too concerned about it, because now that I'm home, I still have those I have the journaling all done. So all I have to do is grab my cards. You know, I made sure that I put them somewhere secure so I know exactly where they are. So grab my cards, put the journaling on those pages that didn't have the journaling, and then they're all ready to go into my albums. Now I grabbed some mist, some navy mist, some distressed spray stain mist. I'm going to add some mist to a few areas to the layout, and that's going to complete the layout. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit subscribe, because I upload videos every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and sometimes on Saturdays. And if you're enjoying these videos, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, and we will talk to you in a few days. Thanks for watching. Bye.